Good morning, David.
Good morning, Karat.
Tell us, what's the difference between probability and frequency, and also tell us, why does it matter?
We're now getting to some of the more technical questions around risk management, which perhaps the casual user might not be interested in. But for a risk specialist or somebody who wants to develop their understanding of risk a little bit further, this is an important question. Because probability and frequency are not just two words that mean the same thing. We use them in the risk management arena quite differently, and it's important for us to recognize the difference between the two. Probability, both of them can be expressed as percentages from 0 to 100%. But probability is used as an expression of confidence. And it's used as an expression of confidence that a one-time event will happen. Now, the event will either happen or it won't happen. And there's a real chance of it happening or not happening, which we can't know because it's a one-time thing. So we have no previous data record, no track record to draw on to say, well, this is likely or not likely. It will happen or it won't happen. So what do you think? How comfortable do you feel in predicting that it definitely will happen? And clearly, if you are certain that it will happen, then your confidence is 100%. I know this will happen. The sun will rise tomorrow. Probability 100%, I'm certain. If you have no confidence, not definite that it won't happen, but you have no level of confidence, then it's 0%. So if we say, what could we say? The London Stock Exchange will be at 6,972 on the 8th of April next year. I have no idea, absolutely no idea. My confidence in whether that is 0. Yeah. I'm not saying it definitely won't be, because it could be. And if it is, then it'll be 100%. But my level of confidence is 0. So probability is not estimating how likely it is to happen. It's not that it has 0 chance of happening, it's that I have 0 confidence in my ability to predict it. And so the most uncertainty is actually at 50%, where I could be right or I could be wrong, I just don't know. And I know that I don't know at 0%. I'm confident that I don't know the answer, if you like, but I'm confident that I do know the answer at 100%. So that's probability, and it applies only to one-time events. What is the probability that a supplier will fail during the life of our contract? Well, he might or he might not. And we have no data on this particular supplier failing or not failing during this particular contract. So we have to express our confidence, our level of confidence that it might happen. Frequency, on the other hand, is different. If something is frequent, it happens a lot. If it's not frequent, it doesn't happen very often. So frequency is a measurement of the number of occurrences of something. And so the only things with frequency are repeated events. So the supplier going out of business during this contract does not have a frequency. But if you talked about how often a particular piece of equipment failed, then you could say it failed once every year, or the mean time between failures was 3 months. Or we could express that as a 1 in 10 chance of it failing in a particular period, say a 10-year period. So frequency is used for repeated events, and it's based on data, based on measurement. I know I can look back and see how many times did this piece of equipment fail, and then I can use that information going forward to say, if it fails once every year, and I have a 2-year project, then it's likely to fail. It has a frequency in my project. And so we have a different estimation question here. We talked about risk being uncertainty that matters, and here we're talking about the uncertainty dimension. With a one-time event that will either happen or not happen, we have no way of guessing whether or not it will, so we give an estimate of our confidence. With a repeated event that's happened over a period of time in the past, we can measure that, and then we can use that information specifically for our estimates going forward.
Thank you so much for explaining the difference between the probability and frequency.
The one thing we should just talk about is if we have these two things and we want to describe them accurately, is there a better word to use?
Right.
And so in English there is a generic word, and often you'll find the word likelihood. Now, likelihood is now used as a kind of word that covers both probability and frequency. And that might be a safer word to use as long as people understand that there are two varieties and they're used differently. So when we have those definitions of high, medium and low, you should have a definition that includes probability. So a low probability is maybe less than 10%, and a medium probability might be 20 to 60, and a high probability is above 60, say. And frequency is then expressed numerically, which says either 1 in a year, 5 times in a year, 10 times in a year. That's low, medium and high frequency. We need different definitions of these different things because they're measured differently. But likelihood might be a solution to the problem.
That's right. That's right. Thank you.
Thank you.